Chapter 1. I'm just a kid. Hello. I'm so glad that you're here from wherever you're listening to me from. Either from your car, your way home, from your shower, or even eating your bacon or your fajita tacos. I won't judge, I promise. But welcome back to Dark Heart Trauma Podcast. So get your Kleenex ready because you're going to need it in this chapter. We will be talking about what not a lot of us talk about due to being so scared or feeling judged or even feeling like our feelings were never valid. I speak from experience. Can you maybe guess what is this chapter going to be about? Yes, you guessed it. Our childhood. I believe we have a different perspective of how we grew up. Remember, every perspective is different and every word and action in our eyes and in our heart looked and felt very different. I know that after this is aired, a lot of us will either have a shattered heart or even flashbacks of how that felt. But my intention is not to hurt you. It's to help you put those pieces back together if you're shattered. Because remember, when something breaks, if the pieces are large enough, you can fix it. But unfortunately, sometimes things don't break. They shatter. But when you let the light in, shattered glass will glitter. Out of many stories and memories I have growing up, this is a couple I still struggle with these days. As I am an adult trying to get through life, and let me tell you, what the fuck? For some of us, our childhood was filled with beautiful memories and with beach trips and getting candy whenever we wanted. Some of us had mom and dad giving us kisses in the cheeks and mom taking thousands of pictures of us in dad's arms sleeping or hanging in dad's shoulders. Some of us, we only had mom who tried to give us the best that she could. And when no was an answer, we would do our little tantrums. Because we didn't know that mom only had money to buy 1 pound of chicken, rice, and beans. Where's dad? You asked yourself many times. I also want to play like that little girl was playing with her dad too. But I'm not her dad, he said to my mom. And of course, she didn't tell me. She didn't want me to be heard. But I heard him. But he wanted me to listen and do as he said. And that was some of us. Then some of us grew up with neither. So void has always been there. Not a mom's hug, not a good night kiss, or kids, the dinner's ready, or I'm so proud of you, honey. In my life, I've gotten I'm so proud of you 3 times. With all I ever wanted was attention growing up. And it's something I'm not proud of. But when I was in the 8th grade, I had so much hate and sadness towards my mom. I felt abandoned and unwanted. Like I was not important, and I would cry mostly at nights. Like I said, it's not something that I'm proud of. But I had made up that my mom had passed away and I was getting all this attention that I've created. But it was at school. I remember my teachers would hug me, and even one of them had bought me a condolence card. And yes, if you are asking, yes, I felt so ashamed. And I know it was wrong. But the attention and the love I was getting in those few days was all I wanted. I was searching for something that I was feeling I was missing or lacking at home. So my battle of feeling like I don't belong or even wanted started. Then, there you go again being dramatic. Again, she said, while I was writing down my feelings. She always does this, starting things up. She loves the attention. she said. So I called mom and told her. She's mean to me and she makes me feel bad all the time. But her response was, no, she doesn't. She takes care of you. So stay quiet, be a good girl, behave, and be grateful. At this point, I felt broken. Dark thoughts started creeping in, and they were more faster than Spider-Man trying to save Mary Jane. So my battle with keeping everything to myself started. Who can I speak to? Because when I talk about my feelings, I'm being dramatic. So lonely nights and a notebook became my friends. So many times I wish that I could trust anyone to talk about, maybe about a boy I liked, or about how not being without my mom hurted me, or how I felt unwanted and unloved, or how I loved makeup and how can I apply it to myself? But I know I'm not alone in this, and I know of many of us to say anything because our parents, aunts, uncles, they want to be acting like everything they did or said did not hurt us. Our feelings were never validated in our Hispanic raza being saying, calladita te miras más bonita. And that was us. We couldn't speak for ourselves because we were being rude and don't talk to me back, they will say. But when we did speak, we were being depressive and too weak. Our opinions don't matter and our voice was someone else's voice. I know so many of us settle for less. We settle for what we received as a child. As we become adults, depression, anxiety, and many more things become our friends all those times ago, and we don't know how to let them go. Not feeling enough was like an annoying alarm that sounds in the morning when you don't want to wake up. But if you don't mind me asking, let me ask you, every time you fight with your partner, a friend, or a family member, do you feel like leaving? I'll wait for you to take a moment and think about it. If your answer is yes, let me tell you why. It's because in our childhood, there was abandonment, and our way to cope was to run away from our minds. So now, leaving is our answer because that person that we trust and loved left us. And now we do the same thing. We became so used to pushing people before they pushed us away. And protecting our hearts became the priority. And leaving is always the answer. I've dealt with this problem in my marriage because I've felt it and I went through it. I felt abandoned and unwanted many times. Like I never fit in my family. There were so many times I wanted that kind of love he was receiving. You should be like him. Or at this point in your life, you should have what he has or even more. You got married to get better, not to be in the same place, broke. If you would have been graduated from registered nurse already, you would have had more things, they all said, without knowing that I was dying to be so perfect, to be everything they wanted me to be and even more. They've created a dark heart, someone that stopped caring and stopped being so loyal to them. Every time his name was popped, I would be so jealous. I would feel so disappointed of myself. Mi papi chulo, vamos a ver su terreno. Estoy tan orgulloso de él y todo lo que tiene, she said. without knowing that I was dying to hear that too, because I was trying to make them all proud of me. That her bringing me to Houston wasn't in vain, but my heart was in fire. I felt so hopeless and that I didn't have accomplished anything with my life. Until one day my husband told me, you need to stop and you need to know your value. Only you know how much you've tried, and I'm so proud of the woman you have become. Don't let others value you. Fuck them and what they think. A matter is what you think of you and the value that you give yourself. And that day I understood that my value did not come from anyone but myself. As we are children, we come up with that mentality that the value that you have, that your family gives you, is how worthy you are, and how sweat, tears, loyalty, compassion you put in, it's never enough to them. So I've learned that you value you cherish you remind you the badass person that you are, and never let anyone dictate your worth. So I want you to do this for me and yourself. Find a safe space where you can be you, or anywhere you are. I want you to close your eyes, and if you have to shed some tears, go ahead. I won't judge, I promise. So I'll wait until you're ready. This letter is from me to you. Dear you, if I can go back in time and be able to protect your heart, I would do it without a heartbeat. But I'm so sorry that many times you had to be responsible for things that you weren't supposed to in your childhood. I'm sorry that you had to face life as an adult when you were only a kid. I wish I was there all those nights you went to bed sleeping, wishing you were loved and enough. I wish I was your safe space and your shoulder to cry on. I know how shattered you must have felt, how lonely you must have felt as well, so unwanted you felt. But everything is fine now. You're safe and loved. It's okay to feel sad and scared and even anxious at times, but don't let those feelings stop you from achieving your dreams and your goals. You don't have to hide anymore. The monsters are gone. Their dark shouldn't be scary anymore. And even if it is, and you're scared, turn on your flashlight. I want you to know that I hear you and I see you for who you are. And such a beautiful heart you have, even when everyone has disappointed you and left you. How smart, so driven you are. How much passion you have in you. And how silly you are. But also how important you are to me. I'm happy that you are here. I'm so proud of you, of how many times you have picked yourself up when life has been a pain in the ass and pushed you down. I'm so proud of all the things you have accomplished. Hey, look at you, so grown up and so independent. Look at you, you're doing it perfectly because no one prepared you for this part of your life. You're doing perfect, and it's always okay to say no when you don't feel comfortable about something. And before I leave, I want you to turn this page over and remember everything that has happened to you. It's not your fault. You don't have to meet everyone's expectations anymore all the time. The only expectation you got to achieve is yours only. So go ahead and put the wall down. Yes, that one that you have been building for years. And go ahead and trust those who have gained your trust. They're worth it. Remember, you are loved, and I'm so proud of the person you've become. I know life hasn't been fair to you, but look how big that smile is and how your eyes shine. Brighter than the sun, and that's how your future looks like. And I can't wait to see how many things you have accomplished. I'll see you on the other side. I promise.